Well, hello, everybody. It is Friday. I consider this is the point of the week that we can say that we made it. So, hello, hello. We've got some friends in the chat. We've got Misty and Carrie and Barbara and Lisa. Thank you all so much for being here, especially that we've got a new time tonight. I know that Fridays are not always the most convenient, so we might have a different crowd tonight, and that is a-okay. I just had some stuff going on this weekend, and I wanted to make sure we had some time to play with this brand new Waffle Flower release because it is one of my favorite releases this year. I love the theme, and I think that some of these products are just so cute. So I'm like, I'd rather move our live than not do one at all this weekend, definitely. So, oh yes, Fry, yay, Barbara, you are so right. And then hello, Christine. Thanks for stopping in tonight. Hope all you friends are having a wonderful Friday, whatever you're doing. I was just talking to my husband about all of the things we have to watch on television tonight. We've got a new season of a television show that just started. We've got a YouTube video that came up, so we want to watch that. So let's see what we're going to watch. So it has been quite a week. Oh my goodness. I'm very much looking forward to crafting with everybody tonight because it has just been wild. I had a career fair yesterday that I was attending as a company, and I just had like a 2 hour period of talking nonstop. And I don't mind doing it in a live stream because like we kind of go in a certain motion. I don't really repeat myself that much. This instance, I was literally just like saying the same thing every 5 minutes, going through like the same spiel of things. So it's okay. It's okay. We are here and we're going to have fun. So, as people are trickling in, let's start talking about our release. And also, too, exciting news for me more so, but I mean, I'm hoping this improves our overall quality of being together. I invested in a new computer for our live streams so that everything is now on a TV, not TV, an iMac screen that I can look right in front of me. It's nice. It's like 24 inches, so I can see everybody's comments. I can just sort of work a little bit more with everything. So that was really exciting. I'm trying to slowly but surely upgrade the different technology and whatnot that we're working with just to kind of tinker with our live stream experience. So yay for new things, and thank you all for being here. So let's talk Waffle Flower. I have been so incredibly grateful that Waffle Flower has contacted me and they invited me to play along with this brand new release. I'll show you guys later the card that I made for the release, and it is, oh my gosh, one of the die sets is one of my favorite die sets of all time. So I'm happy to share that with you. But this release has so much good stuff, and what I love about Waffle Flower is they create products that work so well with each other, and they come out with bundles of products that are all meant to work together. I adore how they think about creating products because it makes it so easy for us as creators to use it. And it's also so easy to then show you guys, do demonstrations about how fantastic these products are because they get me excited. And when I'm excited, it means that you guys are going to be excited too. At least I hope so because I know everybody loves Waffle Flower. So, and they are in the chat tonight. Hello, Waffle Flower. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so excited to make an under the sea creation with you guys tonight and show you just how great that this release is. So what I'm going to do, let's go ahead. I'm going to switch the camera down. We're going to talk about the products that we're going to be using today and how we're going to have some fun with it because I think it's going to be a great time. So we're going to switch down. So I do have my little stack and sort tray all ready to go. And what we're going to do is I'm going to set this aside for now because we're going to talk about these products later. So I'm going to kind of push it up. Hopefully it doesn't go on my keyboard that starts typing. Could you imagine that? So what we're going to start with and what we're going to talk about is kind of our focal die set that we're going to be using. And that is the Happy Turtles die set. And I know the packaging looks a little bit different. Sometimes I get packages and they look just a little different with the packing, but it is the same product they have that you guys would be able to grab with the beautiful Waffle Flower packaging. And these Happy Turtles are Exactly that. They are so happy. They are so fun. You get to work with a pair of turtles and you get to do it's sort of a large and a small turtle. So this is also a great set if you're kind of wanting to make a last minute Mother's Day project. This set works for it. This set also works for Father's Day. So keep that in mind because it could be like a big turtle, a parent turtle, and like a baby turtle. Definitely the vibes I'm getting for. So perfect this time of year, but also at the same time, also awesome enough that you can create with it at any time of year and you don't just have to do it as like a Father's Day or Mother's Day project, because I don't even think that's the intent. I think the intent is just to have fun with it being under the sea. So we're going to be working with this die set. I'm going to be talking through the way that I have chosen to assemble the turtle. There are a couple different options as to how you can layer the shells together. So I'm going to show you my way. It's definitely a little bit of a shortcut method. I thought it would be live stream friendly, but there are different ways we can talk through that you can put these shells together. And of course, Waffle Flower has got you covered with your backing shell piece, your front facing shell piece, all the little pieces you're going to need to make these turtles absolutely perfect. But before we get into getting our turtles together, we have to work on our background. I love that I'm seeing so much love for Waffle Flower in the chat because their stuff is so incredible. And don't forget, I do have the products I'm using in today's live stream listed down below. So if you guys are inspired by anything that I'm displaying tonight, you can head over to the Waffle Flower website and grab your absolute favorites from this Under the Sea collection. It's just so perfect. And one of the other products from this release that I am so loving, it is this Jolly Waves bundle. And it is a 3-product bundle. You can buy them all together or all separately. I do have the bundle link below because I believe you get a little bit of a discount with it. The Jolly Waves bundle is a texture die. Let me grab it for you. We got the Jolly Waves texture die. We also have the Jolly Waves stencil that coordinates with it. And then we also have the panel die. And all 3 of these products work together to create something that is really magical. And I mean, we're going to get into it. I'm going to show you some fun techniques, something I thought of to really sort of amp up making this extra special. And that's going to be glitter paste. And this is going to pop. I promise you guys, I've already done a run through of this and I was super wowed by it. I know you're going to be too. So let's get into that part. And what we're going to do is I've already die cut a panel. I got to put this to the side just to sort of clear off our space. And of course, if you guys have any questions along the way, please do not hesitate to put them in the chat. I will try my best to get to them as soon as I can. So we are going to be using the Jolly Waves texture die, and I gotta grab it. I think I gotta move my keyboard. Yeah, let's do that, just to kind of be on the safe side with it. I'm still kind of getting into the habit of having a keyboard and a desktop in front of me, so we're getting there. So what we're going to work with is, if you can see, let me bring this up a little bit closer. You can see this beautiful scallop texture pattern. And what I like to do when I'm working with the different texture dies from Waffle Flower, I like to cut them first from a piece of paper that is slightly larger than A2 sized, because these panels are sized to work for an A2 size card. You can use them for any size you want, but I usually lean towards my A2 size. And then I'll reach into my stash and grab one of my favorite stitched rectangle dies or non-stitch, whatever I'm feeling like. And then I die cut my shape out. And this gets me an exact cut basically every single time. I do have my stitched rectangle dies of choice listed down in the comments. These are, I believe I use the pink and main ones, but really I know there's so many fantastic different stitch designs out there by various companies. Use whatever your favorites are. I just thought I'd lean you to mine. So you get this wonderful texture, and this is from that Jolly Waves texture die. But now what you also get to do with it is you also get to do some stenciling. And this is really where the magic starts to happen. You see me looking around because I didn't grab my tape, but then I remember I had a new roll right here. So we got some mint tape going. So this Jolly Wave stencil is wonderful. And what we're going to do is this stencil, there are 2 stencils in this pack. It is intended to be used at least in 3 different orientations so that you can get maximum coverage over your stencil. I think you may even be able to use it 4 different times. I'm not 100% for certain, but I know for 3 is how it works. And it does have etched into the stencil the directions for how to use it. So we're going to get into that right now. So I'm going to take out the 2 stencils. I've already had a lot of fun with this stencil, so it's a little, I don't want to say, we'll say dirty. Dirty's a good word. That just means well-loved. And I love showing you guys product that's brand new that already has a little bit of a grunge to it, because that means I've already used it, and it's got that like fresh product, like sort of feel behind it, and now we're moving into well-loved territory, which I love for something that's brand new. So if you read the stencils, they will say what they are. And so for this stencil, there is a Jolly Wave and it's got the product number. And then it says 1/2 color 1. It says flip for color 2. So I know this is stencil 1 of 2 and this is the top side. So I'm going to set that to the side. And what we're going to do, and this is just sort of how I like to do my stencil work. You can do it any way you want. And I know that the grit mats are wonderful for this. I just didn't pull mine out yet. And honestly, as I was prepping this, I didn't use a grit mat. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to go without it, but you kind of just got to go with what your preference is. So I'm going to take 2 1-inch pieces of mint tape. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to line up side 1 of stencil 1 onto my panel. And if you see, there are etched marks that show where your A2 size panels should fit in. And what you just kind of want to see is that you should be able to essentially see the full of the scallop, all the little dots of the ones for the opening. And I'm just trying to make sure that it's centered as best as possible. And I think we're there. And then I'm just going to press it down. Like I said, if you want to use a grit mat to do this, go for it, because I totally understand that those are a great way to use them. I'm just not, and that's okay. Actually, now that I have this down, I think I need to kind of unbend it a little bit just because there's a little bit of warping going on. I'm a little finicky with my stencils, and I'm picky might be a better word. And if it doesn't lay down exactly how I want it to, I start getting fidgety with it. Hence what I'm doing right now. So if anyone's got any questions, let me know. I did select some Catherine Pooler ink colors to use tonight. I was kind of going back and forth with what inks I wanted to use, and I landed on Catherine Pooler because I just thought it would work best for what I'm going for. And we're going to start with Fiesta Blue, which is not a color I originally thought I was going to use, but here we are, and I promise you it's going to work really nicely. So I'm going to grab a Simon Hurley blending brush. This is the larger size. He did just come out with the smaller size recently as well. And we're just going to go in, and we're going to ink blend over this stencil. So just kind of go in. I just want to make sure that my brush is nice and saturated with ink so that we're getting a good sort of feel and a good stencil pattern with it. Now, I have to be honest with you. When I started getting everything ready, I was going to use white cardstock. I actually die cut it. I had to die cut it like 3 times. And I was all ready to go. And I decided against it sort of, not last minute, but later than I expected, because I realized that one of the scales was going to be white. And I thought that it would be easier to use a colored cardstock instead, because that's going to kind of allow me to shortcut one of the colors. So one of the colors is going to be the color of this cardstock. This cardstock is Sea Glass Cardstock from Gina K Designs. Gina K has got some of my favorite cardstock on the market. I've got a really nice selection of it that I pull from often. And I love that it's a nice weight of cardstock as well. Actually, you know what though, like I don't have the full collection of Gina K cardstocks, then I'm always kind of inching my way towards wanting to just acquire more, you know. I have a collection of nice cardstock behind me, and it's just, I'm always grateful to have good cardstocks on hand. But then again, any sort of paper you have is just fun. and there's so much that you can do with it. So I'm going in with my blending brush, trying to get some really nice coverage. And I know I'm kind of taking my time, chatting with you all, enjoying our Friday together. I'm still so grateful y'all tuned in this Friday because I know y'all expect me to be on Saturdays at around 1, and I'm just so glad that we were able to get together today to do this. Even though I know some of our friends that we usually have here might not have been able to make it, there's always a replay, which just makes it even more fun. So all right, so let's do a good old peel reveal. Show us our stencil. And here you can see we've got our first stencil portion taken care of. Now we have a lot more to do. And I just realized I did not turn my phone on silent. So let's, fingers crossed, no phone calls today. Unless, you know what, let's just fix that right now. And I just turned on my phone even louder. We don't want that. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna be mindful crafters today, and we are going to try and clean along the way because we don't want cross-contamination, right? Carrie, this just got released earlier this week. This was, I believe it was the 5th, which would have been Tuesday. So this is brand new, just came out a couple days ago. It is so fun. I am just showing you a small sampling of the products from this release. This release is stacked. There are so many things, like I'm going to even have to go in and pick some more out because there are some things that I'm like, oh, I want to work with this now and I want to work with that. It is so fun. I didn't snag the postage set that comes from this release, and it is so pretty, and I think about using it with the frame die set, and it would be so fun to do. Like, I think about people who decorate their bathrooms with under the sea vibes, because bathrooms always lend themselves to like watery themes, and I'm like, you could do like a bathroom gallery wall of like really pretty under the sea pictures. I mean, I don't think we need like a toilet die cut on there, but you never know what the sentiment might be, right? But it's just, I just think about how fun that is. All right, so we're cleaning this off. And then once this is clean, now following the instructions on the stencil, you flip it for side number 2. So when you flip the stencil, you just sort of line it up. Let's see. And the goal is you don't really want to see any of your stenciled impressions yet. I know you can line it up using your etched line. Sometimes your measurements might be slightly off, that it's not going to be perfect, and that's a-okay. But I'm just going in, making sure everything looks nice and even, and then we're going to go in with our second color. And I'm going to use the same blending brush because this kind of falls into the same family, and we're going to use Aquatini. Okay, I knew so. Okay, Kristen's here. Yay, thank you for being here. I didn't see your name pop up yet, Kristen. You know what? Happy Friday. You were just in a little bit ago, and I was thinking about you earlier because you've been on like every live stream. I'm like, oh, I wonder if today Kristen's going to be able to jump on, and here you are. Thank you so much. And you know what, Josie? I won't tell anybody you left Craft Roulette. I know that Kelly Marie is on with Lawn Fawn. And I was like, oh, I'm like, I know that this kind of conflicts with the Craft Roulette crowd, but you know what? We're going to have fun with it. And, you know, if you guys want to watch Craft Roulette instead, and you can watch this replay later, whatever works. But thank you so much for being here. All right. I agree, Waffle. It is so detailed. You all come out. I think everybody unanimously loves the postage collection and just how easy it is to work with. And one of my favorite things about the postage collection is that Waffle Flower provides inspiration with a color palette that's even etched into the stencils. So it makes it even easier if you're kind of stumped with how you want to use it. It also too, like, it allows you to kind of replicate the design that's on the back. So it's kind of nice to use it with the suggestions the first time. And then once you've got that under your belt, you can sort of customize it for using it in the future. Those colors are not like, you don't have to do it that way, but it's nice to have a little bit of guidance. Even some of the turtle dyes that we're using today have the color recommendations for what you can use on there. And I think that is so helpful because it's like little bits of guidance that kind of helps you keep track of all of the die cuts that you're producing. But then it also helps us take the guesswork out of what we're doing. So super, super fun. Why do you tap on the side? So I tap off on the side because I don't want to get heavy lines when I use my blending tool. And so by tapping it off, it reduces the likelihood that I'm going to get those really dark brush marks. And that's why I've got it off to the side like that. Oh, Lucy, you can ask questions. I don't, newbie or not, it's a great question. I also say, too, I remember when I was a newbie in the industry, some of the questions I asked, I chuckle with. Specifically stitch dies, I will always remember that I could not grasp for the life of me what a die cut was and how people could get stitch marks with it. And I always like to tell the story that I went out and I bought a leather crafting tool that's supposed to, it's like it almost looks like spurs on the back of like a cowboy boot, and you run it against leather and it makes pierced holes that you can like thread through. And I bought one of those in an attempt to do it to like stitch my paper. It did not work. It went in the trash. I probably should have seen if I had a friend that did any sort of leather crafting or like with fabrics that could have used it, but I just got rid of it. So there is no such thing as a foolish question, especially when it comes to your crafts tools and different techniques. All right, let's take our Aquatini and put it away. And let's do another reveal. So, all right, so now we have our second color ready. So as you can see, it's like every alternating row sort of has color and then doesn't. Uses the sea glass color of the paper. So we are 2/3 of the way there, but we need to do our final layer, and I know that this final layer is going to be the most exciting. So I'm going to take my stencils. I actually have it's the scrapbook.com. It's like a water tote or like a cleaning tote. And I have it filled with warm soapy water. I'm going to put this in here now. I usually don't just do ink on it, but I'm like, hey, if it gets it out of the way, one less thing I got to keep track of and clean right now. So we're going to put this down, put the tape back into place. And then we're going to position layer number 3. Now I want to talk about this stencil and what I usually do, because I'm not going to demo it on camera because I've already got a little bit of tack. I don't know about you, but I am definitely a fan of Pixie Spray, which is by Thermoweb. And Pixie Spray is a low-tack adhesive spray, and what it does is it helps take your stencils and sort of gives them a little bit of extra grip so that when you add them to your paper, it makes applying a paste over it even easier and you get nice clean lines. So I have used Pixie Spray already when I've been playing with this stencil, and I have a little bit of residue. And I know that's one of the things that people don't think is great, is like having leftover residue when using like an adhesive tack spray like that, a low tack adhesive spray. I think it is a huge benefit because that means that's one less thing that I need to do when I'm making something, is I don't need to apply Pixie Spray once again. I can use that residual adhesive that's on my stencil and I don't have to spray it again. So it just sort of stretches the use of your stencils and your spraying. So I'm going to clean this up really quickly, and then I'm going to go behind me. I'm going to get a piece of just regular printer paper. And the reason for that, I just like to be kind of on the cleaner side when I'm doing my demonstrations and using pastes, because when I do that, it just makes it all in one spot. I don't have to worry about cleaning my mat, moving glitter around, all the things. So we're just going to go in and we are going to do a little bit of glitter paste. We're going to actually use Astro paste in the Tropical Tango color. And I just thought that playing with blues and blue greens was going to be a really fun way to play around with this. I also thought about leaning into like mermaid vibes and doing like a purple glitter. I wanted to keep it sort of more away from purple, so that's why we're going with Tropical Tango. Well, hello, Idavan. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Thank you for being here. Is Pixie Spray hard to clean off? It does definitely leave a residue, Josie. So if you're totally opposed to that, like if you want your stencil brand new and clean, you're going to have to do a little bit of extra cleaning with it. I know that like archival ink remover for me has sometimes worked, but please, I don't stand behind that because someone might jump in and say, you're going to strip something. I don't know officially. I don't typically clean the residue off. I'm totally fine with the extra grip with it because it typically doesn't affect my other projects. So we're going to go in with this Tropical Tango Astros paste. Let's get that on. And then no gaps between stencil and paper, but pixie spray gaps can cause paste to smush under the stencil. Misti, you said it better than I could. Exactly. I like to refer to it, it's my very official term called under stencil smush. And I'm sure a lot of us know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's when your paper doesn't, there's like a little bit of a gap space between your paper and a stencil so that when you apply a paste over it, it can get under that stencil. And then because the stencil is going to fluctuate up and down because it's not firmly attached to the paper, it's going to smush. And we don't want that. And now, don't get me wrong, if you've got a little bit of smudge, it's totally okay. You can probably cover it up with an embellishment or a die cut. But I have personally done some under stencil smushing that has been terrible, like terrible. And so I just sort of have under stencil smush PTSD, and Pixie Spray is the best prescription to help with that. So I'm going to go in, and I'll make sure I didn't link the Pixie Spray in my link below, the description below, but I can go in later and do that. Thermal Web has some of my favorite adhesive products on the market. So I'm just going to kind of go in, trying to do a nice solid layer, just like this. We're going to clean this off. And now what I'm actually going to do is I do have a stencil tool. This one's from Pink and Main. And I am just going to kind of very lightly drag this across my stencil. Just like that. Do a second one. And then I'm going to take my excess and I'm going to put it back into my jar. I have a feeling I'm going to have to replenish my Tropical Tango stash sometime soon. And that's okay. That is a-okay. And then I'm going to do a good peel reveal. These are my favorite peel reveals. Oh, Sonia, you're so sweet. For a third, it's definitely fun with the glitter. You guys are about to see how fun it is. I'm going to go in and get it going. All right, let's see. There we go. Look at that. So we have a beautiful glittery layer. And now what's important before I show you guys, I'm going to take my stencil and I'm going to go put it in my water bath so that I can make sure it's nice and clean. Got my hands a little soapy, that's okay. And that way I can make sure to clean it off later and I don't have any crusty glitter on it. Because that could ruin a stencil. You don't want that. So I'm going to also take my tools, do that, make sure that's all taken care of. Now let me go in and give you a little bit of a closer look at this panel. Let's see how we can pick this up. Ooh, it's a little challenging, but we're going to get it. We're going to get it, y'all. All right, look at this. So one thing to keep in mind, our glitter paste is wet. And one thing I've learned about your Astro paste is that when your glitter is wet and it dries, it's going to even amp up in vibrancy. So we're going to set this aside to dry, but I don't think it's going to be dry in enough time for us to use it for our card today. So that being said, I did go ahead and prepare one already. And look how glittery and wonderful that layer is. We have 4 different colors of stencils. That we've used. Oh my goodness. I love how this looks. I love the blues and the blue greens. A stencil like this, in my opinion, is layering stencils are made to shine when it comes to glitter and foil paste. That is like my favorite way to amp them up. And using Astro paste with this Jolly Wave stencil and the bundle is just so beautiful. I'm so excited with how this turned out. And I know how wonderful this is going to look on our final card. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it away for now. Like I said, I don't think the one that we worked on is going to be ready for tonight, but do you know what that means? That means I'm going to be able to use it for another card for the future. So stay tuned. I guarantee you that background is going to show up at some time in the future. So I'm going to put that card off to the side. I'm going to reposition myself on my chair because I always manage to get in the most precarious of positions. And let's put some turtles together because these turtles are so cute. And now I'm realizing I am going to use my grip mat. So let's get my grip mat out. And this is going to make it real easy to sort of blend up our little turtles. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to put this down. All right. Oh no. Just a little bit of Tropical Tango now on the back side of my grip mat. And I'm sure it's not going to affect a darn thing. Just make it look a little on the dirty side. That's okay. Not worried about it. I'm sure I could clean it off with some Dawn soap. All right, put that off to the side. And let's reposition this just so it's a little bit easier on the eyes and not crooked. And take a water break. That's okay, Liz. Thanks for being here. Better late than never. And you can always catch a replay. All right, so we've got our grip mat ready to go. Let's lay out some of our pieces that we've die cut. Let's start with the main layer of our turtles. So we're going to start with the big and little turtles because we're going to use both of them. And then we're also going to use the shells. Now for the bodies of the turtles, I'm using Applemint Cardstock from Gina K Designs. And then the shells are Warm Cocoa, also from Gina K Designs. So I'm going to put that to the side for now. And then I'm going to grab some of my 1+ shader brushes and just work on these. So I'm going to grab, this is a white one. I was also very lucky. Waffle Flower sent me the color of the pastel set of 10 1+ shader brushes. Oh my goodness, you guys, these are so perfect. I've already taken some of them out to use, but I'm trying to use them gradually. I love these brushes, especially with the Waffle Flower dyes. They do such a good job shading. So definitely if you're in the market for new blending tools that you want to try out, add these to that list of what you want to try. So we're going to go in first and let's go ahead and blend up these little turtles using some Seafoam ink from Catherine Pooler. And let me see if I can grab my little holder for my Catherine Pooler ink. So we're going to start with that Seafoam color. And then I am going to blend that Seafoam along the head and the body. Because the way that I'm thinking about it is that there's going to be shading from where the shell is. So we're going to go with that. Applemint, Misti, I agree. Applemint is one of my absolute favorite cardstock colors from Gina K because there's something about it that it's like, it is green, but it's like, it's almost minty, but it's a little too green to be minty. And I love mint colors, but there's something about this I feel like even makes it more usable. And I know that it works really nicely with this Seafoam color. I was trying to pick a good color and I didn't want to pick a green that was too yellow. And I thought Seafoam would go really well. I'm also going to go in and just sort of blend his little flipper, just like that. All right, we got a question. Josie wants to know, how did you get started in card making and what did you do prior? Well, while I'm ink blending, I would love to talk about that. So I was a resident advisor when I was in college, and I was known as the resident advisor who went a little too over the top when he had to make door decorations and bulletin boards. They were like my favorite part of the job aside from working with my residents. I loved my residents. I actually am still friends with some of my residents. It was being a resident advisor, one of the greatest experiences of my life. Grateful for it every day. But so I had to make bulletin boards and door decorations. And I had a supervisor at one point that required that we had to use a 3D element on anything that we were making, whether it was a bulletin board or a door decoration. And I remember she told us, like, you don't have to think it's too crazy. Like, it's just got to be something that doesn't make it flat. She's like, add a googly eye, use a pipe cleaner. Think outside the box. I had so much fun. I made crazy bulletin boards. I remember one I made an Angry Birds bulletin board about stress management techniques. And I had the actual birds like shooting across the bulletin board. It was so cool. If we have any Sex and the City fans, I used to do famous female quotes for bathrooms. And I used to have a bulletin board and I would kind of change out who it was. And I did Carrie Bradshaw. And it was one of the clips when she was in the first movie and she's wearing a big fur jacket and she's sitting at her computer typing. And I used ribbon on the jacket to make it come out and make it look like it was actually furry. So it was really fun, really had fun with it. Now to tie this into card making. So clearly I'm finding that I was really interested in paper crafting, got a full-time job, graduated from college, took a step back from crafting because didn't really think too much of it. I went into a paper paper source in my local town and decided that I wanted to buy a card making kit. And I bought a pack of card bases, 2 rubber stamps. It was an elephant, and then it was a bunch of 3 balloons with the center balloon saying happy birthday. And I bought 1 ink pad. And I figured I'm going to use those 2 stamps and 1 ink pad and card bases, and I don't have to buy anything else for cards for the rest of my life. Well, that didn't happen, clearly, as we're crafting this today. But what I found was this whole community of these card makers. And I remember there was one time I went into the same paper source months later as my stash was growing, and they had a stamp set by Avery L. And it was a cursive sentiment. I forget if it's called like cursive sayings or what it was, but basically you would have like a big, pretty cursive word, and you could like add little words to build on top of it, like have a very happy and then like birthday. And that was the first time I had ever seen a clear stamp set. And I was like, what is this? And I remember looking online, and that's where I found everything. And it was like that moment, everything changed. I found all of these companies, and it's just from there, I just kind of snowballed into it. I had a background in photography as a hobby, and also I've had some experience with blogging as well. So that really quickly allowed me to translate those skills into card making. And I was really kind of able to meld my knowledge of paper crafting, my knowledge of blogging, and my knowledge of photography all into one. So that's my story about kind of how I got involved in paper crafting. That was back in 2017, 2018 by now. I think that might have been 2017 technically. But yeah, and haven't looked back. All right. Oh, we've got new friends in. We've got someone from Oregon. First time seeing the Applemint color. Liz, it is beautiful. Barbara, it really was a great job. Now we've got BD Crafts. Hello, Brian. You do bulletin boards at your assisted living facility I live at. Okay. Never thought of making 3D elements on your boards. Definitely think about it. Even if it's little things like buttons, googly eyes, pipe cleaners, real easy ways. And it really makes people more engaged when they see them. It's those little elements that take your project and move them to that finer level of adding detail that just makes them look more thought out. And that's really what, in my eyes, like crafting is taking a sort of look at those details. All right, so we're going to go in with this Macchiato ink. Ooh, you guys got me talking tonight. That's okay. They really were like a huge card, Josie. Absolutely. I had so much fun with them. I remember one time, oh my gosh, the best year was my junior year. I moved to a new area of my building, and I had a really weird, unique, not weird, it was a wonderful community, but I was the only RA on the first floor, and my community was split into 2 small wings. And the girls were on one side, the guys were on the other. And the girls were like, they were really getting into the bulletin boards. And they're like, if we give you our baby pictures, can you make like a guess the baby board, like who's who? And I remember they all gave me these pictures, and I put them up on a board, and we had like guest sheets and whatnot. And they had so much fun. It's really a great way just to sort of build community. And isn't that really what parts of card making is to like make someone feel special, give them that little sense of community, that there's somebody there that like thought about making them a handmade card. It translates into all sorts of areas of arts and crafts and crafting, you know? All right. Stamping for 28 years. That's okay, Kristen. That just means you're refined at it. All right, we're going with that macchiato, just sort of blending that edge. All right. All right, perfect. Let's put these together. Should we do a little bit more ink blending? My fingers are so blue, y'all. Oh my goodness. All right, let's do a little bit more ink blending. I would like to get the ink blending portion done first before we move on to something else. All right. Nano spinners on those boards. I don't even think nano spinners were like much of a thing when I was an RA. Listen, if I would have known like back then about like pear blossom press lights, if I would have known about nano spinners, if I would have known about foiling, like thermal web and what they offer, flocks and whatnot, oh my goodness, just that would have been so cool. But also too, I was working on a college student budget, and like I could request funding, but I don't know if I wanted to buy like easy lights or something, how I would have spun that. But you never know. Being crafty doesn't just mean like actually arts and crafts, because sometimes we gotta be creative in the way that we word things too, right? So all right, let's take our little turtles, put them off to the side. Oh, you guys, these turtles are so cute. They're everything. They really are. This release from Waffle Flower is truly one of my absolute favorite releases of the year. It is just so, so fun. I'm definitely going to need to clean off all the glitter that I accidentally got onto this mat. Oh well, it's okay. Worse things have happened. I was a teacher responsible for changing up to 4 bulletin boards every month. Fun but time consuming. Oh my God, Misti, you are so right. It took so much time. And like, that's kind of what we were dealing with too. I always had at least 2 bulletin boards that had to be changed out on a monthly basis. But then I also had other items too that like I had my door decorations. We would also share bulletin boards with other staff members. So like sometimes we had to do multiple bulletin boards beyond our set amount that were like a different amount each month. Always fun. So, okay, right now I'm also going in. I've got these are from a different die set. These are from the Under the Sea die set. Let's talk about this because this is, if you love scene building, there are 2 die sets from this release and even some stencils, but we're going to talk about the dies that are so incredible for Under the Sea building. This one is specifically called Under the Sea, and it makes a seaside cliff, and it also has little bits of seaweed and kelp and coral to really help build that ocean floor. And you can see on the backside, Waffle Flower has been so wonderful to provide all of the details for how this all comes together. I love all of these little scene building items, but I have to say the old school style, like, diver mask. Oh, and also too, that one episode of Scooby-Doo where it's like the, radioactive diver monster, totally getting vibes from that. If anyone could come up with like a Halloween card where it looks like this is glowing underwater and it looks kind of haunted and spooky, that would be so fun with this. But we're going to go in and we're going to use these little seaweed kelps, a little bit of coral pieces, and use these just to sort of color up our different elements. So we've got, let's see, got those. And then I also have, as part of the Happy Turtles die set, I've got these little starfish that we're going to use as well. I don't know officially if we're going to use the starfish, but here they are. It's really a great die set. I love it. This release, you guys, it's stacked. Ooh, I just dropped something. That's okay. There is a amazing submarine die set. It's not even a super high price point either. I know it's less than $15. It might even be like less than $12. But we're gonna go in. Let's go in with some orange peel ink right now. Y'all, I'm just so chatty tonight. Mary says, could you see Pear Blossom Press twinkle lights on a bulletin board? Wouldn't that be so cool? Oh my, if I would have known about these things back then, I would have had so much fun with it. And I think my coworkers would have been so mad at me for coming up with these ideas. All right, so we're going to go in with this orange peel ink, and I'm going to use this on this piece of coral reef. And this coral reef is die cut from Sweet Mango cardstock. These little starfish are from Sunkissed Coral, and I tried to stick to Gina K inks as much as possible, but I did pull Grapefruit Cardstock. This is from Concord and Ninth. I thought it was Gina K at first. When I went through my stash and I had everything prepared, I realized I was wrong. But that's okay. That's okay. They're all pretty and they're all going to work together. So we're going to go in with that orange peel and just sort of blend it out. All right. This ink holder really is fun. It's from an Etsy shop called Whimsical Wishes. And it really helps keep everything nice in place. I've really been enjoying using it. I had another ink holder I used once before, and it kind of threw off my color balance. I don't know why or how that happened, but I switched to this, haven't had any problems. It's really fun too. You can also select what color you want. They offer I think there's 20 or 30 different color options to pull from. I pull from the teal, which is, I believe, the very last option, number 35. They're not in numerical order, so there's not 35 for sure, but that's what I used. All right, so we're just going in. That's super pretty. Pear Blossom, easy, light, and color acetate with neon green. Oh, that would be so cool, Misti. That is a great idea. All right. And Brian says, our local Chick-fil-A opened yesterday. I had to tell everyone that the board is truly coincidental. That's funny. That really is funny. So, all right. So we've got our orange peel all blended up for our coral. I'm also going to go in and we're going to do some Samba ink. And I'm going to use this on both the seaweed and also the starfish. Now, the seaweed, being honest, I mean, let's be real for a second. probably would have been smart to go with green, but because we already have green turtles, I didn't want too much green on the card. So I was like, let's kind of play with some reds and corally colors. So I'm going to go in with the Samba ink. My ink pad is juicy, so we're definitely tapping that off. And then we're just going to kind of go in and blend. Perfect. Kind of keeping it darker on the bottom. I don't even know if I'm going to use all 3 of these pieces of seaweed, but it's better to have options than 2 little things to work with, right? So we're going to go in, just sort of keep blending, just like this. I just love that ombre of colors, my goodness. Oh, an orca set. Sonia, I would love an orca set. Or just any sorts of whales in general, multiple types of whales, blue whales, sperm whales, all the fun whales. Ooh, or even like belugas and narwhals. Whales are magical creatures. I truly like, because they're like, those and like great white sharks are like the only types of animals that really can't truly be in captivity. And it's just like, they just boggle my mind. They're just so massive. And I know there's the whole controversy of like SeaWorld and animal parks having like orcas and whatnot. And that's a whole other realm of things. But I remember when I was a kid, I did go to the SeaWorld out in San Diego, and they had rescued, I believe it was, maybe it was either a blue or a gray whale. I'm not remembering. I was very young, and they were actually having the whale at the, they were like rehabilitating it at SeaWorld in San Diego. But once it got to a certain size, you can't have it in captivity. So just absolutely magical. Liz, the stamp pad holder is from an Etsy shop called Whimsical Wishes. I can link it in the description after the live. And yeah, they've got some really great products. All right, so just kind of go in just like this. Perfect. And then I'm also going to use this Samba on my little starfish. Just like that. Perfect. All right, so we got a little bit of ink blending. Yay. They really are a great Etsy store, Barbara. And though I can tell you guys too, the Whimsical Wishes link, not that it matters, because I just want to share with you guys what the things that I love. That one actually isn't an affiliate link. I love it. Everything that I share is because I love. But also too, typically after you make a purchase, and this is most Etsy shops, you'll get like a coupon code later that you can use in the future. So you might get one from there. I can't totally guarantee it. Or sharks. Oh, Sonia, if they had like great white sharks, that'd be so cool. Oh my goodness. All right, so we've got these 3 little pieces, and I've got one last thing, and it's a kind of a big element that we're going to ink blend. All right. And also to Barbara, thank you so much for using one of my links. I appreciate that very much. I do have all of the products that we're using today linked down below. And when you guys use my affiliate links, and I'm sure you've heard the spiel with other creators before, but we always like to thank you guys for it because we get a small commission just as sort of a thank you for like lending you a little bit of inspiration. It helps support me in my crafting with stuff. I was really excited. I was able to get a new, well, actually I got a great deal. It's not a brand new iMac. I actually got a great deal on an open box, and that's why I jumped on it. But purchases, when you guys use those links, it helps support us as creators and allows us to reinvest in ourselves to give back to you guys in terms of our content. So thank you all very much for doing that. And if you guys haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I have a lot of inspiration coming up next week. I won't have a live stream next week. I'm not going to be around next weekend. Very exciting. I'm going to be across the pond in the UK for an extended weekend. We're going to go see some West End shows. I am so excited, but that means unfortunately I won't be able to craft with you guys, but I will be back the next weekend, and we're going to be having some real fun. The next weekend we're going to have some fun with the new Pretty Pink Posh release, so that's going to be really fun. If you guys have seen any sneaks with that, Pauline has kind of shared a little bit, but I believe those sneak peeks fully start tomorrow, so that's going to be great. I promise I'll have some inspiration coming your way with that. But I've got a couple videos coming up over the next week or so and some new releases, so make sure to like and subscribe for more inspiration. All right, so now that we've taken that little detour and self-plug, I am going to take this circle die cut. So one of the die cuts that I use, this is not a waffle flower set. This is from scrapbook.com. It's the nested dash circle frames. And I took the second largest one, and we're going to use not the frame part, but the inside part. And we are going to do a little bit of ink blending. And then I also have the frame as well that we're going to use to sort of map out the circle and sort of let it stand out on its own. I will have so much fun. Thank you guys so much. I hope I've got some stories that I can bring back. Maybe even find something crafty related or like some inspiration I can put into a card to talk about. It's going to be a great time. I'm really excited. The story behind that is for my husband for Christmas. I wanted to get something kind of special, and his favorite book is Dracula, and my favorite musical is Wicked. So if you guys saw, of course, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo did the 2-part movie adaptation. Well, Cynthia Erivo's first like return to stage project since she got back was doing a one-woman show of Dracula. So we're going to see that. So that's going to be a great time. I can't believe we're doing that next week. So it's going to be fun. Little bit of brag. I apologize. I'm just very excited. So we're going to go in with that Fiesta Blue ink. And I'm just going to blend it on the top of this circle. Y'all, you're getting me chatty tonight, and those are the best types of lives. Just have little side conversations, have a good Friday night with each other. You know, I know we normally don't do Fridays, and we do another day. We do Saturdays, but this is okay. And with Mother's Day this weekend, I didn't want to put it on Sunday because everyone, even if you maybe Mother's Day can be a great day, it can be a hard day, bittersweet day. I know. And I was like, you know what? We're not going to do Mother's Day. We're going to do Friday. So thank you guys for being here. All right, so I'm going in with Fiesta Blue. Oh, I know. She's going to be incredible. I'm debating whether or not we should try and stage door. Because and my thought is, if we tried to stage door, I have a card that I would love for her to sign to keep on hand. I think that would be a great sort of memento of sorts. But you never know. Stay tuned. Would be fun, right? Do you remember Starbucks years ago for Halloween did a Frappuccino called the Frapula? I had bite. Sonia, I don't remember that. I am going to have to talk to my husband, though, because he does work for the Siren, so maybe he'll remember. So, all right, so we're going in with that Fiesta Blue, and now we're going to go in next, and we're going to use that Aquatini color. And I figured we're just going to use the same colors that we used for our background. I'm just going to clean it off sort of off camera. Oh, Liz, it's a good production. And the other thing too, a lot of the times when you go see shows on the West End, the government subsidizes the cost of the tickets. So you can get tickets at a better deal than you can usually like if you go to like Broadway, even better deals than like me living close to Chicago. So that's a great reason to see some shows if you're ever in London. But I saw Wicked. I saw it in the second row. It was so good. I was so happy. We actually, when we saw Wicked, we saw that was like 3 years ago. We weren't planning on seeing it, but when we checked into our hotel, conveniently we found that Wicked was playing in a theater like 3 doors down. And I'm like, oh, we have to go now. So that was awesome. Well, because when we went, we weren't even staying in the West End. We were staying near what's called Victoria Station, and that's where the Wicked Theater is it's right near Victoria Station. So we went and saw it on our last night of our trip. And thank you so much. This really is pretty. I'm trying to get a good blend going. Just trying to get some nice even lines. We're going to do a little bit of water bleach marks too, just to give it like that under the sea look. All right. And we're also going to be covering a lot of this up, so I'm not like concerned about it looking perfect. All right. I'm going to go in with just a little bit of Fiesta Blue. Oh, that's so exciting, Lisa. So exciting. What a great job. I hope they love it. All right, so we're going in. I'm going to go in with just a little bit more Fiesta Blue. Just kind of bring it down. And then I think that's going to be about it for our ink blending. Perfect. All right. We are good. It's a little dark on that one end, but I have a feeling we can cover it up with something. All right, I think I'm done with my inking. And I just put this on top of my keyboard, and I really need to learn to not do that. So let's go in. Let's pull this up. just like that. I'm gonna put my brush back and then just sort of do a little bit of cleaning. Now, of course, Catherine Pooler inks sometimes do stain a little bit, and that's okay. It just makes this well-loved. It works exactly the same. Just make sure to wipe that ink off, you know? All right. Perfect, perfect. I do have to make sure that I get the little glittery part off as best as I can. All right. We're getting somewhere. Let me put this away. Ah, that's what I dropped. I dropped part of my backer piece, and that's all right. So we're going to, I got a little bit of fuzz on this. And we'll set this aside to put away more fully later. Hopefully I remember to do it, right? All right, let's do some water splatters. Now, one thing I love about Catherine Pooler inks is they are water reactive. So that means I'm going to be able to splatter water and get these beautiful watery bleach marks. And they are so perfect for doing underseen sort of cards. Let's see, can I zoom in a little bit to show you? There you go. All right, so here you go. We've got this really fun sort of watery effect. I think this is really fun. It really sets that under the sea vibe. So we're going to utilize that. And now let's start putting our little items together. All right, so we're gonna assemble our turtles. And like I told you, I'm doing sort of a shortcut method with the shells. There's different things that you can do with it, however. So what we're gonna start by doing is let's take the body of our large turtle and we're gonna adhere it to the backer piece. So I'm gonna go in. This was fine the other day. By other day, I mean yesterday. There we go. Perfect. I'm just using my Misti Precision Glue Press, going in, getting this as best as I can. All right, and then I'm just going to kind of brush off the excess. All right, just like that. Perfect. And we're going to layer it. Just sort of line everything up. Try to line it up as exact as we can. A little bit of dog hair, that's okay. All right, and let's also go in. I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. Just because I don't think we need it. Oops, sorry, you guys. That's a headache and a half. All right, I will blame that because I've got a little bit of liquid adhesive on my fingers. So what we're going to do next is we're going to do some liquid adhesive on the back of our shells. Now with the shells, there are two pieces. There's a main body piece to the shell. I'll show you guys. Put it on first. Sort of layer it all up. Just like that. Oh, I love that. So there's a body piece which has some kind of like stitched etched lines, and then there's also a more solid piece that will cut out all the little details. For example, it'll cut out this piece, which we're going to layer for the shell just like this. But you can also, if you wanted to inlay all of these little die cuts, you could do that as well. You also could, if you wanted to, you could die cut the base as a different color. Waffle Flower recommends doing it in like a cream. And then you could do the rest of the shell pieces in brown, and it creates that cream sort of line. I decided not to do that, just to sort of save time and not have you guys watch me do a bunch of paper piecing just on camera. But I think that that's a really fun way that you could put this guy together. Or girl. Or whatever. All right, going in. Oh, those are some good shows. I love hearing about who people have seen in different Broadway shows and whatnot. My favorite is we saw Sweeney Todd on Broadway a couple years ago when Josh Groban was Sweeney Todd. Annalee Ashford was Mrs. Lovett. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I wouldn't stop talking about that show for like months. All right, so we're just going to kind of layer that. Now, I did die cut this from Lemon Drop cardstock, also by Gina K Designs. So there we go. Just sort of layer it nicely into place. And there we go. We have our first little turtle. Now let's do turtle number 2. Ooh, there we go. Oh, okay. They're called follow bands, Liz. FAHLO. At least I think they are. My husband has a handful of them. I think he has a turtle. I know the first turtle he has. I don't know if it's changed, but the turtle he got was his name was Tortellini, which I thought was hysterical. But he's got a handful. He's got one for like a lion. He has one for a lowland gorilla. I think he has a shark or a seal. I don't remember which. I'm sure he'll tell me later. So, but yes, follow bracelets, really cool. All right, just sort of wipe that off a little bit. Sonia, you need the Misti Precision Glue Press. It is a must-have tool. One of those tools that, like, I know that, like, for some of us, we all work with different budgets. We all craft with different items. The Misti Glue Press is just, like, it's a must-have investment. It's just, it really sort of changes the game. So thank you for showing how awesome it is. All right, so let's go in. Liquid adhesive on the back of the shell. I did have to, though. And I attribute this to a Justin problem, not a product problem. Just the other day, I actually pressed too hard on the handle and I popped my bottle in there. And I always keep extras on hand just because you never know when something might happen. So I did have to swap it out. That's okay. Just be mindful. Sometimes we got to remember they're not meant to be like infinitely durable, you know, as much as we'd love for everything to be. And also, too, sometimes we work with things that, like, as much as we feel it should be like a permanent product, it's more of a finite product. Plastic items can't last forever and ever, you know, especially when you're putting wear on them like we do. All right. So let's put this little piece on the shell. I'm going to put this away because I caught it. I don't have to pick it up. So we're going to put this on. I agree, Sonia. It definitely pays for itself. It is wonderful. I use it. It's one of those tools that I just use all the time. And that's really the sort of thing with us as creators is when you find those tools that you use every single time you sit down to make, unless something doesn't call for it, you know, and I mean, there are just some tools out there that is when you find like what your personal favorite tools are. Is those things that you reach for all the time. Your die cutting machines. We all have preferences, you know. Your favorite tweezers. I mean, the glue press, a Misti, or a stamp platform. Like those are your must-haves. Things that you are constantly reaching for. Your favorite blending brushes. Gotta have them, you know. It does come with that empty bottle. It is great. And they do sell extras too. I always buy little extras of things like that. Just because with me, with how much I create, you never know when you're going to need it. All right. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is one last element before we start putting everything together. Let's get our sentiment. And for our sentiment, I decided to use a color that I didn't think I was going to use, but I think it's going to work really nicely for the colors of our card. And I am going to pull back in that warm cocoa cardstock. And I think that's going to be a perfect fit. So I'm going to grab my Misti platform. Got too many Mistis too. I've got like 4 Mistis. I've got 5 Mistis now that I think about it. One I just have like in a retired spot that it's like, I'm waiting for like a friend to see if she wants to pick it up because I feel like everybody needs something like that. I just have too many. Oh, the glass mat too. I love my glass mat. If you've been looking for a new work surface, this is from Glassboard Studio. I do have a promo code for 15% off using code Justin, and that'll get you 15% off your total purchase. They have a bunch of accessories on there as well, a bunch of different sizes. This is another product I use all the time. I don't even think about it because I'm constantly working on it. I actually have 2 of the 18 by 24 ones. This one's in gray. My other one is in white. All right. We're going to use this Bubbly Sentiments set, and I think that these are all so freaking cute. Oh my goodness. I was going to use You Are Turtley Awesome. Am I still going to use it? Because I also love Keep Swimming, You've Got This. And I think that having it underneath these little turtles that are swimming could also be really cute. What do you guys think? Should I do the Turtley Awesome? Or should I do the Keep Swimming? Let's see. What are your thoughts that I should do? I can't do something too crazy. Like, I don't know. Well, if I have to pull a new piece, well, we'll make it work. Let's make sure that I can still do this. You got this Keep Swimming one. Oh, yeah, we're fine. We're totally good with that. What are your thoughts? Which one should I do? Turtley Awesome or Keep Swimming? And take a drink of water while I wait for comments to come in. And I've got my little tools all ready to go for it. All right, Kim says Turtley Awesome, Turtley Awesome. Okay, Turtley Awesome. We'll go with that. I'm seeing a lot of Turtley Awesome. Barbara's the one that says Keep Swimming though, and that's okay. They're both great sentiments. I kind of figured though Turtley Awesome, since we're doing turtles. I feel like it's, yeah, probably the correct choice, but you know what though? This is a good stamp set. Love it, love it, love it. All right, we're gonna go in. We're gonna do Turtley Awesome. And then also what Waffle Flower does. I could praise Waffle Flower for their designs forever. All of their dies or stamps are numbered. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're also, these numbers are etched onto the coordinating dies. So it makes it easy for you to figure out which one works with which sentiment. Little things that take a little couple extra seconds off your guessing process. And I love that they keep up things like that in mind. Just super awesome. All right, so we're gonna put the stamp set to the side. We're gonna pull this up. It's not super straight, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be because we're gonna die cut it out. I'm using my anti-static tool. This is from Tailored Expressions. Love this tool. This is another must-have. Love this item. Don't have it linked below. Sorry about that. What we're gonna do is pick this up. And then I've got a watermark embossing pad. This one's from Pink and Main. And we're going to use this to ink our stamp. Just like this. Oh, that's a cute idea too, Misti. And now you're making me remember I don't have a card base. Shoot. That's okay. We'll get it. We will get it. All right. Let's do one more. I don't even know if I need it. Looks pretty juicy. Perfect. All right. So let's go in and take a piece of paper just to sort of catch my flyaway. We're going to do frosting embossing powder from Pink and Main. All right. We're going to tap off the excess. All right. Put this back. You know what? I'll put on a card base off camera. That's okay. Y'all know it happens. I have to have it on a card base. I used my last pre-made one though, so it's not, I don't have one at my fingertips. All right. So I've got this. Now, let me set this off to the side. I don't have a lot of side room now that I look at it. So let's clean this. I am running out of space. Oh, Josie, you're so sweet. I'm so appreciative of you guys liking and subscribing and just honestly just being here. Just having a fun Friday night with everybody. Especially, like I said, knowing that this is a different time than usual. Just having fun with it, right? All right, so we're going to put this away. And then let me wipe the back of this. Oh, why I have so much on the back of this sequence. Random sequence. Why, I don't know. probably because they picked up sequins. All right, let's go in and clean that off just a little bit. Let's do it from the back side. It's always hard for me to talk while doing heat embossing. Oh, been 6 in California. I love California. My favorite state, truly. All right, there we go. Let it set for a little bit, and we'll do a little bit of die cutting. I didn't realize I had to do die cutting today. That's okay. Thanks for liking, Liz. Thanks for liking everybody. All right, so let's go in and just sort of wipe this off. Perfect. And then we're going to take our coordinating dies for this Bubbly Sentiments. And we're going to match up the Turtley Awesome one. Oh, I'm so glad that you were able to get a little bit of a treat, Heidi. Thanks for being here. All right, so we're going to line up this You Are Turtley Awesome. And I'm going to take some of my 1-inch mint tape. All right, let's see. Put that there. Just like that. Hold it down. And then let's grab my die cutting machine. Got my Platinum 6. I always call it the clunky part of my life. Whenever I have to pull a die cutting machine on camera, you know, clunky, but that's okay. It's sometimes it's inevitable. I also have my Scout. I could have used that as well. I guess I just didn't have it handy. So, Liz, you're so sweet. Thanks for being here. Having such a good little chat tonight. Appreciate y'all. All right, we've got our sentiment that says, You are totally awesome. And I just think this is going to work really nicely for our card. So I am going to put my sentiment die cut back. We're also going to put our die cutting machine back. Awesome. There we go. I was like, where did I put all of my die cuts? Perfect. All right, so let's put this away. Trying my best to sort of pick up as we craft. All right, so now we're kind of just in an assembly phase, which is kind of the best place to be. You know, I mean, we've been here for like an hour and 15 minutes. That's okay. So we're going to take our glitter background from the, oh my gosh, is from the Jolly Waves bundle. Sometimes I just talk too much and then I forget the name of things. It happens, y'all. And what we're going to do is we're going to put liquid adhesive on the back of it. And I'm going to try my best to get as much of a coverage as I can. So just kind of go around. Try not to put too much. All right, and then we're going to go in. I'm just going to kind of do, I think I'm going to do as much of the arches as I can, but I am going to run my finger over it when I'm done, just to sort of take any splotchy spots out. And I haven't had an issue doing that until my finger stuck when I was using my mouse and my camera sort of went wonky because I was trying to go in and out. So it happens. So I'm just going to try to get this all situated. I know that this is a little time consuming to do all of this. Trust me, that's not lost on me. But sometimes I feel like the crafting tasks that take the most amount of time have the biggest payoffs. I'm like halfway there. Living on a prayer. Oh no, got a little bit of liquid adhesive on the back. And you just want to get some good coverage because you want it to grip nicely to your background. Now, you don't have to go too wild with your adhesive. You could definitely kind of skimp a little bit, but you still want it to be anchored in the important spots. What are the specific important spots? I don't know. So that's why I just kind of cover everything, because my guess is, you know what? The important spots are covered because everything is covered. I sometimes do Facebook live streams with Kindred Stamps, and there's always someone who watches that reminds me that she has one of those, like, what are they called, like Xylon sticker makers. This would be too big to fit through that, unfortunately, but it helps make your die cuts and turns them into stickers. Jennifer started humming that song. See, see, see. A little crafty time, you know, a little crafty, sort of fun. All right, let's see. Oh boy, it's a little messy. That's okay. We'll be fine. We're gonna cover a chunk of it up. That's okay. So now we're gonna layer this as best as we can, and it's going to frame all of those little scales. Isn't this pretty? Oh my goodness. I love this. This is one of my favorite bundles. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Just all these little pieces working together. Isn't this pretty? And those little pops of the tropical tango glitter. I love this, y'all. And you can use this any way you want. You can use it that it scales side down like that, scale side up, whatever works for you. This is so pretty. I'm going to use one of my large acrylic blocks just to apply a little bit of pressure off to the side to make sure that that gets some good connection. I also just want to double check too. I think you can use this either way. I don't think that there's a set way that you have to use this stencil, so use it for whatever is fun for you. Let me double check that. I'm gonna look real quick just to make sure I'm using it the right way or the intended way. See, I love that I'm able to pull on my phone during a live because I used to film with I used to do everything with my phone, so I never could see anything. All right, let's see this bundle. Yeah, it's meant to. You can do it either way. Either way, whatever makes sense for you. We're gonna do it that it's the ridges are on top though, so it goes the curves are on top, not the bottom. I love this, and it's the other thing you could do. It would take a little bit of extra time, but oh my goodness, the dimension you could get if you did one or two more die cut scalloped layers of the happy waves and layered it on top in white cardstock. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. It would be so perfect. Okay, so let's start and we're going to put more together. So I am going to put our circle kind of in the center. Say you're totally awesome. And then we're just going to kind of, oh, you know what we got to do though? I want to do this and I want to put these pieces in now because I think they need to go first. So let's go in and do a little bit of liquid adhesive. I've got an idea. We're just going to kind of decorate. We're going to do the Aquatini is going to be on the bottom. Just like that. And let's see. Let's do maybe like two of them. Like this. Silver and blue. Oh, that's Sonia. That would be so pretty. So, so pretty. I'm realizing I don't have my good scissors over here. That's okay. I'll get them. All right. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to do a coral over on the right. Just like that. Now, one thing that would be really pretty, and I didn't get the stuff ready for it, is if you did like white or colored splatters. White, I think, would be the prettiest. But you could do whatever you want. Now, also one thing, I won't get this up photographed and whatnot probably till tomorrow, just because I like to photograph in the daylight. So I'll make sure to get this all uploaded tomorrow. All right, so we're going to push that down. Awesome. All right, now what we're going to do, I'm going to grab my scissors, which are over here. And I am going to trim the bottom edge of our little scene builders, but not the top edge. So just like that. Because I want it to kind of have an overlap feel, but we're going to do it. We're going to layer it directly into the circle like this. And so now all I need to do is I kind of got to anchor this a little bit. I have an idea. So we're going to do a little bit over here on the back side. And then we're going to do a little bit over here. And then I am going to take this and layer it to go on the back side. Just like that. Perfect. I'm going to flip it over, and it's going to give us like this little porthole of sorts. Isn't this cute? All right, and so what my thought is, let's move this off to the side. I don't need that right now. So we're going to layer this just sort of in the center. I love how that circle sort of makes this its own scene. We're going to do like the Turtley awesome sentiment down. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I love these products, you guys. This is so great. All right, so we're going to go in. We're going to add some liquid adhesive to the back side of this. Just like this. Just sort of do it around my circle frame. Just like that. A little bit of that. And then we're going to just sort of rub like that. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to try and get this nice and centered as best as we can, kind of using the seaweed as a guide as to what should be vertical. Let's see. I know this covers a lot of the pretty glitter, but not all of it, y'all. All right. Isn't that fun? Oh, I love this. Love, love, love. We're going to take that acrylic block, put it on top just to get a little bit more of a connection. Now, and then I think what we're going to do is we're going to put our turtles just sort of like that. And I don't know, the turtles are supposed to kind of have the starfish in their mouth. So maybe we will do that. I think that'll be cute. Isn't the circle a good look just for a nice sort of central piece that sort of breaks it up but gives a nice focal area? And I love that the circle pulls in the colors from the other areas of the card too. Oh, you guys, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay, so let's go in with these little stars. We got to trim a little bit of that off. Just sort of clean it up. It happens. Getting particular, but we're getting close to the end. Not too much left. Awesome. Awesome sauce, y'all. All right. So now let's go in. We're going to do... I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to... We're going to do it behind the mouth. Okay. Perfect. Talking out loud, trying to map things out. This is what happens during a live stream. All right, so we're going to add just a little dot of glue. And then just like that. And then we're going to do a little star for a little turtle. Just like that. And then we're going to do foam adhesive on the back. Yes, I just love that. I agree. I think that coral color really pops. Just nice little fun pops of color, right? The circle grounds the scene. I agree. I think it's such a fun little way to do our card. All right, there we go. A porthole on a ship. Absolutely. So fun. Okay, let's get some 3mm foam strips. And we're going to just sort of start playing with our little turtles. All right, we're going to put it on the back of our sentiment as well. Make everything have some nice pop. I agree, Barbara. They really knocked it out of the park with this one. So good. And I'm so excited to share this with you guys. Like, I knew when I saw these products, I'm like, yeah, this is a live stream. This is definitely a live stream. This is so much fun. Under the Sea is also just one of my favorite themes to work with, too. Just such a good time. So much to do with it, and they really came out with some really fun products to make so many different types of cards. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Let's do our little guy. Wouldn't this make such a cute little card for like Father's Day or Mother's Day? I just think it's so perfect for that. All right. Oop, we got a jumper. There it is. All righty. Yeah, let's trim a little bit of that off. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to do Big Turtle kind of on top. Don't want to cover too much of that orange reef that we worked with. So we're going to do kind of like up here. And then we're going to do our little turtle. And little turtle is going to go kind of like down here. Add to cart. It's a good one, Sonia. It's a good one. All right, we're going to do little turtle sort of right there. Kind of nestled in. And then we're going to do the You Are Totally Awesome. It's going to be over here. I love the brown. I think we're going to... Or maybe do it right in the center. No. I kind of like it right in the center. All right, we're going to do center. All righty. Let's get this nice and situated. I love that I can kind of use the scallops of the happy waves to make everything sort of nice and centered. All right, there we go. All right, let's get the, you know what, let's get this onto a card base. Let me see if I can find my mini card scorer. I have my big one that's in the other room right now. Ah, here we go. So I've got my score buddy. Let's grab a piece of cardstock, cut it in half, and we'll be good to go. Let me see. There's my Gina K trimmer. Perfect. Maybe we'll put a little bit of sequins on it too. What do you think? All right, so we're going to cut this piece in half, longwise. Perfect. Sonia, you're cracking me up tonight. We're going to go ahead and we're going to score this at the 4 1/4 line. So it's A2. Just like that. Fold this over. Just like this. Oh, lovin'. Lovin', lovin', lovin'. Some dewdrops. I was going to do some Crater Lake sequins, which are also clear. That's what I pulled. I don't know, dewdrops. I could change it. I mean, no, these are all the same color from Waffle Flower. But I do have some crystal clear dots from an Altenew. Maybe we'll do those instead. What do you think? Those could be fun. We could do those instead of sequins. Those are easy. All right, liquid adhesive. Just like this. Nudge it into place. Just like that. Awesome. I have a little bit of trimming to do, but that's okay. Push that nice and down. Thanks so much, Liz. All right, so let's see. Do a couple dewdrops. I gotta trim that top though. Where's my scissors? That's gonna drive me nuts. Let's see. All right, we got that. And then I gotta get this too. Perfect. All right, let's get some of those drops on there. So we're just gonna add a couple, maybe like 3. I think that'll be just enough. So we'll do like a big one down here. And then let's do a medium over here and a small. Just like that. That's pretty cute. Just a little bit of extra embellishment. Oh, I love that. I think we maybe need a couple more though. Isn't that how embellishments always work? You're never really done. When you want to do a little, you always go overboard with them. Do like that. Wonderful. 5 little dewdrops. Oh, how cute. Guys, this turned out so awesome. Oh my goodness. And those are crystal clear enamel dots by Altenew. They were the closest clear droplets sort of things I had. So, all right. You guys, we are all done. This might be my longest live stream yet, and that's totally fine because I had so much fun with you guys. All right, let's go over what we made tonight. So we played with the brand new Waffle Flower release, which is the Under the Sea release, and we played with the new Happy Waves bundle, which we created this beautiful background with some stencil and die cutting work. There's texture, there's glitter. I don't know what more we could possibly have. There's ink blending. It's multiple colors. I love it. I think you guys love it too. You guys had some really kind words to say about it. So we did our background. We also built a little sort of porthole center using our little turtles, which are from the Happy Turtle set. We also used the Under the Sea die set to build a little bit of scene elements. We've got our little bit of seaweed or kelp going up. We've got some coral off to the side. And we love our little bubbly, you are turtly awesome sentiment. We did some ink blending with Catherine Pooler inks, and we did some wonderful just sort of embossing using some embossing powder from Pink and Main. So I think this turned out really cute. Look at all of these colors. They work so well together. I am such a sucker for those underwater teals and turquoises. They are like my favorites. So this was super fun. I had so much fun making this with you guys. As I promised at the beginning of this live, I wanted to show you the other card I made for release day. And this, oh my gosh, this die set, this is one of my favorite dies. I think not even just of this release or of this year, like of all time, because I feel like this guy is just like my personality sometimes. I made this Hello card with the new Happy Lobster, and I love him. I love him so much. I was so excited. And he's holding the Hello die cut, the brand new Hello die cut. It's, oh, I also use the Bubbles stencil. So many fun elements going on with this card. I had so much fun making this one too. So I just think these two cards really help capture this brand new Under the Sea release. Once again, Waffle Flower knocked it out of the park. This was amazing. I'm so honored to be able to work with this and show you guys these new products, demo with them. And I really hope that this gives you some inspiration for how you can use the brand new release for your own sort of Under the Sea inspiration. Art the color, I agree, Waffle Art. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you again for letting me be able to create with this brand new release and share my love for the product with everybody else. I really appreciate it. All right, let's go in. We're going to swap back to my face. And here we are. All right, hello, hello. You guys, you are all so wonderful, and I'm so very appreciative that you chose to spend part of your Friday evening with me. Please know my appreciation for that. It does not go lost. I truly know what it's like to have a Friday night, have things going on, and you guys choosing to spend part of it with me really means the world. And thank you. And thank you for being patient with me for switching over to a Friday night tonight instead of my usual Saturdays. moving forward, going over my upcoming schedule, I will, like I said, I won't be going live next week. We'll be out of town, so can't do a live stream. That's okay. I've got some new video inspiration heading your way. I'll have some pretty pink posh inspiration coming your way on Thursday. And we're going to have some Catherine Pooler inspiration coming your way on Wednesday as well. We've got some brand new releases for that. I will be back, not next Saturday, but the following. I think it's the 23rd, whatever not this following Saturday is, but the one after. And we're going to have some fun as well with the new Pretty Pink Posh release. I'll be back to my normal time. It'll be a 1 p.m. Live stream. Memorial Day weekend. We'll have a great time. Oh my goodness, you all are so very sweet. Now, don't forget, if you want to show Waffle Flower some love, and if I've inspired you with any of the products that I used today, I do have all of the products used during our live stream linked down below for your shopping convenience. I'll go over it one more time, make it super quick. Those are affiliate links. That just means if you make a purchase using those links, I earn a small commission that just sort of helps support me in my crafting. It's no additional cost to you, and it's always appreciated when you guys use them. So thank you so very much. In conclusion, I feel like I'm writing a paragraph back in high school. Thank you everybody for spending your Friday night with me. I hope that you had some fun playing with this brand new release. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Oh my God, such a good conversation going on tonight through our hour and a half conversation. Thank you all. We've got Barbara and Sonia and Lena and Josie and Lisa and Lucy and Kristen. Oh my God, Mary and you got Laura. You guys are wonderful. Kim, thank you so very much. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you guys real soon. And actually, also, to all the moms out there, happy Mother's Day, and have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you, guys. Goodbye.